Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Christine and I just wanted to show you one of my super easiest favorite recipes to make some slow cooker granola. You whip it together, you let it do its thing, and then you let it dry and you put it in the jar. It really is that simple. So I'll show you the different steps in my video, so come on with. Okay, so I know it looks like a lot, but it actually is super simple. I pulled everything out. I pulled all of the quantities that I need. So I'm going to start out with the main ingredient. And I love to use the rolled oats specifically for the granola. And old-fashioned, the only gig is you cannot use the quick oats. That definitely does not really work in this recipe, but everything else, sky is the limit. You can add all kinds of stuff. I'm adding my favorite things of what I like to put on my yogurt, etc. So first, I'm gonna start out with my 5 cups of my rolled oats, and I'm putting them literally right in. It's pretty warm. My warmed up crock pot, slow cooker, what have you, whatever you wanna call it. Like this is a different brand. It says it's a 6.5 quart slow cooker, and I have it on high right now. So that's how we're gonna start. And then you just kind of start adding your ingredients. So I have 3/4 of a cup of dried cranberries, adding that in. I have my coconut. Either love or hate coconut. So I love coconut, so I'm adding 1 cup of coconut. And then pretty much at the end, you just, mix it up. So I have my dried blueberries, and I'm adding a 1/2 cup. And I find that these quantities with the liquids that I do add definitely make it the consistency that I want. So I'm starting it at nighttime here, and because I want to get it done before bed, and then I let it dry all night long. So my other fun thing that I do is I love my sliced almonds. They just work for so many different things. So I'm literally adding 1 full cup of my sliced almonds. Pepitas, pumpkin seeds, like who doesn't love that? They're so good for you. I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin seeds. And then let's do all the dry. So I'm gonna add just a pinch, like 1/8 of a teaspoon of my Redmond's real salt. So I have to say that the pepitas are raw and the sliced almonds are raw. There is no salt added to them. And then the same with the coconut. So we just added our salt. And then cinnamon. Cinnamon is to taste, but I love cinnamon, so I'm gonna do a heaping, roughly 1/2 teaspoon of my cinnamon. And then now for the wet ingredients. So I consider my coconut oil to be a wet ingredient. That's kind of what gives it the little bit of crispiness. I just love this. So 1/3 of a cup of my coconut oil. It works great. And you will be stirring this hourly, so if you do want to adjust it at all, but I find that this amount works great with the 5 cups of oats, etc. And then my homemade maple syrup from our friends. I'm doing 2/3 of a cup. I actually only have 1/3 at a time, so here's the first 1/3, and I'm scraping it, and then that's the first one, and the second 1/3, so that's 2/3 cup of maple syrup. And then the trick is waiting now, so I'm just gonna give this a good mix, and it's beautiful, smells great. You want to just make sure everything is incorporated together. So the one thing I really haven't ever added is chocolate chips. I guess you could maybe add those at the end. But if you put them in right now, they're gonna melt all over the place. So I love this recipe so much. Like I said, it's kind of sky's the limit, but the amounts that I've added according to what the oats are that I have, it works great. And I'm down to my last little bit. I added on so many things. I put it on my ice cream, of course yogurt. I actually eat it just like a cereal. And so the other trick is you need to leave your crock pot uncovered. So I'm going to be cooking this for an hour and a half, uncovered, on high, giving it a stir here and there, and then for a few more hours. also uncovered, and then I turn it down to low. So right now I'm just getting it going, and then I'm gonna turn down the heat and then just kind of let it go until bedtime, and then I'll pull it off the trays onto some parchment paper and let it dry overnight. It really is that easy. So I'll see you in a few hours and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so don't mind me, I'm in my pajamas ready for bed. So I am going to get this out of the crock pot. I had it on high for an hour and a half, currently turning it off, and I've been stirring it every so often. And it just is really nice and dry. So after the hour and a half, it's been about 2 hours now, I've had it on low. And just with the lid off, just the ingredients that I showed you, and you'll see how nice it turns out. I just love this recipe. And so this is still really hot. So I'm just gonna, I've got my parchment lined cookie sheet, and I'm just gonna basically get everything out onto the sheet overnight and just let it totally and completely dry and cool down. And I just love this recipe. I'm down to the last little bit. We're actually going to some friends, so I'm gonna bring a little baggie of it there as well. But like I said, the sky is the limit with what you can put in it. And I think the amount that I have, the 5 cups of oats to start with, I really love the rolled oats, like I said, is a great amount to put in one of the really big jars like this. So it's the 64-ounce jars and then some. So it's a really great amount, and then you just have to do it once. I probably make this once every month and a half or so. Just keep it sealed in a jar and you're good to go. So I will see you in the morning when this is cooled off, and we'll get it put away. So I'm gonna get this finished up and cleaned up before bedtime. So here we are the next day, and it's all nice and dry. Obviously it had overnight to cool and dry, and it looks fantastic. So I am going to be bringing some to a friend's house. So I'm gonna fill that jar up first, and it literally is just putting it in a container that you're gonna seal or use within the next month or so. And then if you're not using it right away, you can actually dry can it. You can also vacuum seal it in, you know, like the food saver bags, etc. So, I mean, so many things. I actually gave granola out last year for Christmas. That's always fun. But just look how beautiful that is. Isn't that fun to like give somebody and maybe even use it while you're at your friend's house? So that's what I'm bringing with. I'm bringing this beautiful container, and then the rest is going to be my stash for, like I said, obviously put it on yogurt. You can put it on ice cream. You can do so many things with it. I actually utilize it as well just as a cereal. So it's great to just bring with and munch on. You can put it on top of cottage cheese. I mean, just the ideas are endless. And like I said too before, that, you know, the recipe is a base recipe and you can add whatever you want to it. These are the things that I specifically like, and I do change it up sometimes. My husband's not a huge coconut fan, so sometimes I leave that out. But then again, my daughter and I are big coconut fans, and I add a little more sometimes. Well, I'm not brave enough yet. I'm gonna get this emptied into here. Empty this, and then we'll get this video closed up. So there you go. The super easy steps that pretty much anybody can do that owns a slow cooker. And this is what I yielded, and I wanted to show you this fun cap. So I found it from the Ball Company, and it just is one of those that kind of slips off and then clasps back on, and it's got a little pour spout. So this is my favorite lid that I use for my granola. And then here is my gift I'm bringing this weekend. How beautiful did that turn out? I just love it. I can't wait to share it with my friends. So let me know what you try in this recipe. Like I said, it's basically a base recipe. You can add, subtract whatever you'd like. Make sure and try to keep the wet ingredients the same though, because that helps with the consistency of it as it cooks. So yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you like videos like this, super simple recipes, hit that like and subscribe. And I will see you next time on Christine's Routines. Take care and God bless. Hey friends. Oh. Oh, Nelly. Recipe. I know it doesn't look as simple as it may seem. Well, that doesn't really make sense. All right, let me try that again. So there you have it. Oh. Let's straighten that up first. And this hair. It's hot out.